Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I got a late start today, so it's already getting dark. It's after 4 and I've got a new tent with me. I've got the Ankiel Outdoors Zeta 1 tent, and I'm having a hard time getting it set up just because of all the wind. I'm up here at the lake again, and man, it is cold. It's down in the low 20s right now. The wind is blowing. We got gusts about 30 to 40 miles an hour. And it's snowing. As you can see, there's a ton of fresh snow. It's been about 2 weeks since I've been up here last, and since then it's snowed about 8 to 10 inches. And yeah, I just barely made it up here today with my pack. I was carrying 91.5 pounds, so I was really slow. That's why I got up here late. I have wood at the last campsite that I made a video at. It's probably, I don't know, less than a half mile from here, a quarter of a mile. Before it gets dark, I'm gonna hike over there, grab that wood and bring it back. But first, I gotta finish staking this tent down. Every once in a while when a wind gust comes through, it just grabs a hold of this thing and tries to rip it out of the ground. So I'm gonna attach a couple guy lines and then put my backpack inside, empty it out, and then take the backpack with me, fill it up with the wood to bring it back. So I'll tell you guys about this tent once I get everything set up. It's a really cool story behind it, and I'm really excited to try this tent. It's the most unique hot tent I think I've ever used, so I'm excited to see how it does in this weather and this wind. Hopefully it doesn't get shredded. I don't know if it was a good idea to bring any tents up here at all. It's kind of rough. We're having an atmospheric river event right now in Oregon and Washington, so there's just been tons of snow and rain hitting the West Coast since Thursday. Today is Saturday. Since Thursday, it's just been dumping snow and rain. The wind's been crazy, and it's supposed to do this all the way through till like Tuesday next week. So I thought it'd be a good time to come up here and make a video, catch a snowstorm. It's supposed to snow up to 12 inches today, most of that overnight, but also about 6 inches tomorrow. High winds the whole time, temperatures down in the low 20s. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun trip. I just started way too late. I'm gonna go get that wood, get back here, put some lights up, and then finish setting the tent up. There's actually a fly that goes over the top, a floor, and an inner tent also. So I have a long ways to go to finish. It's my fault I got up here late, so I'm gonna get the wood before it gets too dark and then come back and finish setting this up. Okay, I bailed on going and grabbing the wood. It's pretty much dark now, and I started walking out there and I can't find the trail. It's buried in quite a bit of snow, and the problem is the lake is also buried in snow right now too. But in order to get to the wood, the trail leads right along the edge of the lake, and it's too hard to see where the trail ends and the lake begins. Like, basically, I don't want to fall into the lake. So the wind is still blowing, not as bad as it was, but it's gonna pick up here pretty soon. So I'm gonna finish tying all the guidelines down and then just finish the tent up all together, and then I'm gonna have to cut some wood. I think there's wood nearby. I think there's a couple dry logs buried under the snow over here. So when I'm all done setting the tent up, I'll just cut that up and I'll get a fire started, and I'll be fine. I'm just starting to get a little cold, so I think I'm gonna put my puffy on, finish this up. I know it looks late, but it's not even 5 o'clock yet, so it's just that time of year, and I got way too late of a start. So anyways, yeah, I'm gonna finish this up and I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's done. Okay, I finally got the tent set up. It took me a while. It's my first time setting it up. I probably should have set it up at home first, but this is a nice tent. You see all the shiny material here? This is Mylar. You know those space blankets, those emergency heat blankets you can wrap around yourself? It's made out of the same material that reflects heat. So the whole idea of this tent is to reflect heat from a wood stove, from a propane heater, or even from a campfire outside in front of the tent. That's why the front of this tent, I don't know if you noticed, it has a clear door. It's like a clear plastic, and it's supposed to let the heat in from a fire. It reflects off of the Mylar coating inside the tent, and it helps warm the tent. So I'm not going to be able to try that today. It's blowing way too hard out there, but I did bring a wood stove. I'm excited to see how this works. So not only does it have the Mylar coating inside, it also has it inside the inner tent here. And also there's another canopy on the very top of this tent. It also has a Mylar coating underneath. So you got like 3 layers of Mylar at some point, you know, reflecting heat back on you. So this is pretty nice. I'm excited to hook up the wood stove and yeah, get a fire started. I have to get some firewood before I can test out how well the Mylar coating works, but it's probably buried under a foot of snow. There's a lot of snow drifts out here. You can hear the wind. It's howling. It's supposed to be wind gusts up to 45 to 55 miles an hour today, so tonight. So I've got all the guidelines staked out really good. I've got the tent staked down. It also has a snow skirt, so I need to put some snow around the edges too on the snow skirt to keep the drafts out. But yeah, a lot of work left to do. Let's see what time it is. It is almost 6 o'clock, and I don't even have the stove set up or wood, so it's going to be a late night. I'm probably not going to be done with dinner and in bed until midnight or 1 o'clock, but that's okay. It's part of the fun, right? I've got lots of warm clothes. I'm staying warm. The only thing is the wind is whipping in here with that door open, so I need to set up the stove and close that, and then yeah, I'll finish the rest of this. Well, that worked out really good. I found these 2 logs within 20 feet of camp. So this is more than enough wood for tonight, as long as it's good. I'm worried that this is a little rotten. This is underwater during the summertime, so all this wood is driftwood, and this one looks a little powdery on the outside. It's been in the water a little too long, but I'm hoping there's some dry wood, some hardwood inside. This other log doesn't look quite as bad. It looks like it hasn't been in the water as long, but I'm gonna cut this open. I think there's gonna be some solid wood inside, and even if there isn't, I think there's plenty of wood in the other log that should get me through the night. And tomorrow, if I need more wood in the morning, I'll go over to my old campsite and get the wood that I stashed over there. But yeah, it's cold. My beard is frozen. And every time I take these big gloves off, these are not cutting it, and my fingers just go numb. I don't even know what the wind chill is. I don't even know what the temperature is, but I'm guessing right now it's in the low 20s, or maybe even the high teens with the wind chill. I don't know. There's no way for me to really know the wind chill, but I'll get the thermometers out here once I'm done cutting wood and see what the cold actually is at. So anyways, I'm gonna get busy. All right, finally got the wood chopped, the fire started, the thermometer put outside, and I'm tired. It's about, the thermometer says 20.5 degrees outside. It's still dropping. This thermometer doesn't show the inside temperature right now because it only goes to 32 degrees for the indoor thermometer. So once it warms up in here, it'll show the temperature. But this carbon monoxide detector says it's about 29.5 degrees inside. So that's a 9-degree temperature difference between inside and outside. But hopefully this heats up soon. See how this reflective Mylar tent works as far as heating up. It's a decent amount of space in this tent. It's a pretty good sized tent. So I'm really curious to see how well this heats up. But let's see, what time is it? It's probably pretty late. Just about 8 o'clock. I got up here at 3 o'clock, so it's been 5 hours. Finally get all this set up and ready to go. I'm gonna let it warm up in here for a little bit, let myself warm up a little bit, and then I'll start cooking dinner. What a late start today. I'm sorry about that. I like to do things in the daytime. You can at least see what I'm doing, but that's not how it worked out today. So I think I'm gonna be good on wood for tonight. I'm probably gonna let this burn out when I go to bed, but this should be plenty for cooking and for starting a fire in the morning. And then if I do need more, I still have the log outside that I can saw and chop up if I need. So I'm good for now. I'm sure you can hear the wind. It's howling. I really hope this tent holds up to the wind. Most tents aren't made to handle wind like in the 40 to 50 mile an hour range, especially not bigger tents like this that I'm aware of, but so far it's doing great. So I've got a grilled tuna melt cooking right now. Just some Gouda cheese, some tuna, of course, with mayo, and I put a little bit of relish in there. The only thing I forgot is butter or some kind of oil to put on the bread. Once again, I didn't make a list, and that's the one thing I forgot. So it's still gonna cook. It'll toast without butter, but it tastes better with butter, and it gets a lot better toast on it. But it's doing fine right now. It'll melt the cheese. So. I'm getting sleepy. It's like 9:30, something like that. 9:20. But it was a long hike up here. Like I said, 91.5 pounds, and there was a lot of places on the trail that the snow was knee deep, and where it wasn't knee deep, it was at least a foot and a half deep. So I had to blaze a trail, which is fine. It just took a lot of work. It took me almost 3 hours to get up here. So I started about 12:15 and got up here just after 3. The longest it's ever taken me to get up here, but that's also the biggest weight I've ever carried up here too. Normally I carry anywhere from 65 to 85 pounds, but I made it, and I'm glad I bought this tent because it is awesome. It's nice and warm in here. I've got the thermometer sitting in the sleeping area on the ground just to see what the temperature is over there, and it's staying right at 50 degrees. on the ground in the middle of the tent. So it's 20 degrees outside. Right here it's probably 70, 75 degrees. It's pretty toasty right next to the fire. But I mean, yeah, this works really good. Really reflects the heat. And if you haven't noticed already, I am wearing this beanie. It is also from Ankiel Outdoors. It says Ankiel on the front and Outdoors on the back. And then this hoodie is also from Ankiel Outdoors. The cool thing is, yesterday I got to meet three of the 4 owners. So shout out to Kyle, Ron, and Marcus. But yeah, I actually was supposed to go camping with them this weekend. The weather here got so crazy that we ended up having to cancel. So I still drove to Hood River in Oregon. That's where their company's located. It's only about 2.5 hours from my house. I drove up there to have breakfast with those guys. They gave me the tent and this beanie and this hoodie while I was there. And we've been talking about this since, gosh, I want to say July, something like around July or August. I was on the PCT when they first got a hold of me, and they asked me if I would want to try out this tent. And it still wasn't manufactured yet. This just got back the end of October, their initial shipment. So this is, as far as I know, the first YouTube video that this tent has ever been in. This is its debut online as far as I know. But yeah, the Ankiel Outdoors Zeta 1 hot tent. They did an amazing job on this, and it's for sale. So I don't know if they want me to say exactly how many they have, but there's a very limited quantity of these tents. So if you want to pick one up, you can go to ankieloutdoors.com. I'll list it in the subtitles so you'll see it. But head on over there, check out this tent. They have merch, so they got the beanie and the hoodie for sale also. It's a brand new company, just a bunch of regular guys who like the outdoors, who like to watch YouTube channels of outdoor camping, stuff like this, and they just decided one day, hey, let's make one of our own. So it's really cool to see that. They're really close to where I live too, so I feel like that's a really cool opportunity to get to meet these guys, be one of the first ones to use this tent and to really put it through its ropes. And that's what I brought it up here for today. I wasn't going to come up here today. I just decided yesterday to do it because, well, the weather's nasty. It's supposed to be up to 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts, 12 inches of snow. Now, normally I wouldn't take any tent out in 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts, but I actually talked to the owners last night, one of the owners, Kyle, and I told him what I was thinking of doing, and I asked him if he was okay with me taking it out in this wind. I said I don't, I really want to try it out, but I don't want to break it on my first time using it either. So, but yeah, he said, yeah, go for it, take it out there, see what it can do. So, yeah, thank you for trusting me with your tent. I love it so far. It's amazing. It took me a little bit longer to set it up because it's my first time, but it's pretty intuitive. It's nice. It's a really well thought out design. It really is. So far, I haven't found anything about it that I don't like. I will say it weighs, I think, around 17 pounds, so it was a big reason why my pack weighed so much today. But also this stove I brought up here weighs a little bit more too. It's about, I think it's like 12 pounds. So, but I really wanted to shoulder it and bring it up here in a backpack. So that's why my pack weight was over 91 pounds, but it was worth it. I'd do it again. Oh, that is burnt. Okay. I'm gonna focus on cooking now. I just burned it. Oh, man. Anyways, I'm glad I came up here. I'm glad I brought this tent. Yeah, I mean, I want to catch this winter storm. It stopped snowing when I got up here. It was just barely coming down. It pretty much stopped an hour or so after I got here. When I was hiking up here, it was coming down like crazy. It was snowing so hard. It's supposed to snow tonight. It's supposed to keep getting windier, and it's supposed to snow tomorrow morning too. So hopefully I'll start hearing the sound of snow hitting the top of this tent. I'd love to get some film of the snow falling in the daylight. That'd be nice, since most of this video is in the dark so far. Little sneak peek for you guys, little insider information. My girlfriend is going to be starting her own YouTube channel soon. Her and I are both going to be coming back up here to the same lake and using this same tent, but we're both going to record the video. We're going to do a hot tent camping video, both going to record it, and it's going to be her very first video for her channel. We'll release them at the same time, and I'll leave the link to her video and her channel in the description when I do that. I'm really excited. She came up here with me last year. You may have seen a video where I made a snowman with the woman I was with, and that was her. We weren't dating at the time, we were just friends, but I mean, it's been over a year now, and we ended up hitting it off, and now we are together. So she really likes hiking, and she's just getting into backpacking, and this will only be her second winter backpacking trip. Anyways, look forward to that in the future. Stay tuned. Well, I ate dinner, I'm full, I'm tired, and I'm ready to set up for bed. So today, once again, I brought the Exped Dura 8R. It is the sleeping pad that's full of down, and it has an R value of 7.8. So this thing is really warm. I really liked it last time I slept on it, so I brought it again. I also brought the Exped Mega Pillow, same as last time. And of course, my Zenbivy light bed 10-degree quilt. Also the Exped pump. I like this thing. It's a lot easier and faster than using an air sac to blow up the sleeping pad. Not that that's hard, it just takes a little bit longer. I'm gonna start setting this up, and I'm gonna go to bed pretty soon. I'm tired. everything's all put together. Bed's ready. I'm in bed, as you can see. And I just realized it's really hot in here. I've got the thermometer on the ground here at about the middle of the tent, and it reads 86.7 degrees right now. It's 19 degrees outside. So that's thanks to all this Mylar in the tent reflecting that heat back to me. That's the cool thing about this tent. Normally I get temperatures of 86, 90 degrees, 100 degrees sometimes up at the top of the tent. But this far away from the fire, like the middle of the tent, on the ground just about, maybe a foot off the ground, 86 is impressive. I'm too hot. I'm about to take this hoodie off. You know, I did stoke the fire up pretty good, but still. The thing that's cool about this tent is it feels warm everywhere. Like, a lot of times I'll have cold spots when I hot tent camp because it's always colder at the ground than it is up at the ceiling, and it's still the case in this tent too, but it just feels like everywhere is warm. Here in this corner is the same as right over here, or right where I'm standing or sitting right now. It feels the same warmth, so it's just all radiating back to me off of the walls of this tent, and it's really cool. So I wasn't sure how this was going to work, but it's a success. It is very warm. That's huge, a huge temperature difference. 19 degrees outside, 86 degrees inside. Oh, it's a 65 degree difference between outside and inside. That's huge. So anyways, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm exhausted. It's about 10:15, 10:30ish. And I don't know if you can hear it, but it started to snow again. Just lightly. But hopefully it picks up through the night and we wake up to a foot of snow. So we'll see. But anyways, you guys have a good night. I'll catch you tomorrow. Good morning. It is windy. I mean, it was windy last night too, but it's been blowing really hard all morning. I got my fire going. Woke up earlier this morning and started it because it was a little chilly. Right now it's 30, almost 31 degrees outside, and it's about 51 inside the tent. I slept warm. I slept comfortable. It didn't really blow or snow as much as I expected it to. But this morning it's starting to pick up. Been snowing now just a little bit since last night, just coming down a little, but the wind is really piling it up against the side of the tent, and I bet there's drifts out there. I can't really see through the plastic window. I can see a little bit. There's just too much snow on it. I'm hoping when the stove heats up it'll melt that off and I can see. But I'm gonna make coffee and I'm gonna try hard. I'm gonna try for the second time at roasting my own coffee. I brought a special coffee roaster this time, so it should work better, hopefully. And I brought some eggs, again, scrambled eggs for breakfast with sausage and bacon and cheese inside of them. So I'm gonna get working on that. I would go outside and take pictures right now and some video, but it's a little nasty, just a little bit. I want to warm up first, so I'm going to start doing that. Alright, so I've got my snow melting. I'm gonna make some water for coffee. I've only got a little bit left. I only brought 1 liter, and I brought another one of these containers, but I figured I'd be able to get water out of the lake. But the lake is covered with who knows how much snow and ice, so I didn't want to go down there and mess with that. So I'm just gonna melt snow. I don't usually like to melt snow because it takes forever. It takes a long time to get a full pot of snow. I just have to keep feeding it, melting it. And then when it's done, I'm gonna filter it because it's got a bunch of garbage in it from the ground and the trees blowing out. But then I'm gonna start roasting some coffee in my new coffee roaster. It is made by Nuvo. I don't know. I found it online. It's got a leather wrapped handle, but inside it's got this textured surface, so it's supposed to help evenly cook the beans. It's got a hole through the handle that helps vent. So you're just supposed to put them in here and then just roll them around until they're roasted. This stove is getting a lot hotter than the last stove I brought when I tried this, and plus I figured this is ceramic and it's kind of enclosed, so I'm hoping that this will heat up more than that skillet did. I don't have an hour and a half to make coffee today. And I really want to make eggs. I brought eggs again. I'm going to try it this time, but as soon as I get that water melted and filtered, I'm going to start roasting the beans. I would do both at the same time right now, but you have to constantly stir this so they don't burn, so I don't really want to have to mess with both at the same time right now. But that water's almost done. I'll get that filtered and then I'll put it back farther so it can heat up for the coffee, and then I'll start roasting the beans. We'll see how it works. Hopefully it's worth it. It was only 20 bucks. Everyone online says these things work really good, so we'll see. This time it's actually working. I ran out of wood, so I had to chop or saw a couple pieces off that log I had outside. But now that it's burning hot, yeah, these beans are getting close to being done. Ooh, they're smoking. They're starting to smell like coffee. Last time they didn't smell like coffee, but these are doing good. So I'm gonna give them probably another, I'm thinking 5 minutes to get them really dark roasted like I like. It's a success this time. It looks like it's gonna work. It's still taking a lot longer than it would if you were using a stove at home. I think I've been doing this for at least somewhere around 20-30 minutes. And I keep hearing it's only supposed to take 12 to 14 minutes for a dark roast. But this stove just, unless you just have it blazing constantly, it just doesn't stay as hot as an actual stove burner will, a gas stove or electric. But they're looking good. So another 5 minutes and I think they'll be ready. I was gonna try to cook my eggs on the stove, and I ran out of wood again. So I sawed a log off of this this thing. I couldn't split it without having to go out there. I'm being lazy. It's almost time to go. I didn't want to go out and split more wood, so I brought out the old gas stove and cooked my eggs that way. But that's why I bring it, you know, you never know. By the way, the coffee turned out really good this time. The beans got a lot better roast than they did before, the first time I tried this. So that little ceramic roaster worked really well. Tasted really good. I put some vanilla creamer in there, and yeah, it's a good breakfast. Eggs with cheese, bacon, sausage, and some coffee. And I'm snacking on a little blueberry bagel over here too, so I can't complain. It's getting kind of late. It's already 12 o'clock. That's what happened last time too. I started roasting those beans and time got away from me. It was a lot faster this time though. This wind is insane. I'm not looking forward to trying to pack this tent up with all that blowing. It was hard enough trying to set it up with the wind blowing, but now it's even worse. I don't want it to blow away. The only good thing is I actually strapped this tent on the bottom of my backpack on the outside, so I can pack up my entire backpack first and then go out and start tearing the tent down. Normally I put the tent in my backpack, so I kind of have to lay everything outside, tear the tent down, then stuff it all in there. But since I'm doing this on the outside of the tent, or the backpack, I can stay inside in the shelter and get everything packed and then go out and tear the tent down. It's not too cold. It's only like 32 degrees. I'm surprised it's not raining, but that wind does make it a lot colder. I have a feeling the hike back down the mountain is going to be a little tough. When I came up yesterday, there were some drifts that were knee deep. Most of it was like a foot and a half deep. But yeah, I got up on some steep hillsides and the wind had just buried the trail. Luckily I know where it's at. Otherwise that could have been sketchy. But when I went out this morning to take some video, I noticed all my footprints from yesterday were all completely covered up, and there's a lot of new drifts from all this wind and snow. So I have a feeling on the way down all my tracks are going to be covered again and there'll be even more snow, which is fine. I'll be going downhill this time, but it just makes for slow going. My car's probably buried. It's a 2-mile hike down to the bottom of this mountain, only 1,000 feet of elevation, but the road to the trailhead, it's a gravel road off the main road. And the main road was bad enough. They hadn't plowed it when I went on it yesterday morning, and there was probably a foot of snow on it, but I made it through. But as soon as I turned off onto the gravel road to get to the trailhead, it was like 2 feet of snow. It started going up over the top of my car. I have all-wheel drive, thankfully. I didn't get stuck, but now, on the way out, there's going to be even more snow and probably some bigger drifts. I'm just hoping they've plowed the main road since then. We'll find out. Could be an interesting drive back down the mountain today. But that's all stuff to worry about later. Right now, I'm just going to finish up eating, finish my coffee, start packing. I really want to go over this tent one more time because I don't normally do this, and I just feel like I need to say something about this tent because it's one of the most unique hot tents I've ever owned and used. First off, I'm not getting paid for this review. I'm not getting,
any money off of sales of these tents in any way. They did give me the tent for free, and they told me to be brutally honest in my review of it. So that's what I'm doing. I just really like these guys. They're just really down to earth family guys who like to go camp and hot tent. They saw a bunch of hot tent videos. They've been watching channels like mine and others for a long time, and they just wanted to contribute something back to the hot tent community with their spin on it. And this is the product of years of research and development by these guys. They've put their personal finances into this. You know, they have a lot on the line with this tent, and they've done a great job. I have somewhere between 20 and 30 different hot tents that I use from different companies. Some of those I bought, some of them have been given to me, and I like most of them. But this one, the design of this one is so unique with this Mylar coating. Last night was amazing. It wasn't just warm, it radiated heat all throughout the tent. So it was warmer down below, it was warmer in the corners of the tent. It just, you could tell it made a big difference. And you can hear this wind out here. These are 40 to 50 mile an hour wind gusts that this tent has been going through since yesterday. I had one of these gusts almost blow me over this morning when I was outside filming. Literally had to hold on to the tripod because I was starting to fall over. It was that strong. And it's held up to it like a champ. So it's unique in its design with the Mylar coating. It's also a cool shape. It's not a perfect circle. It's more of an elongated, like an oval shape kind of. But it stands up to the wind very well. It's got 10 guy lines, 6 stakes. It's got the snow skirt. And sorry, that's just crazy. I talked to one of the owners yesterday, Kyle. I told him I was coming out here, like I said, and I was worried about the tent holding up to this kind of wind because he's only tested it in 30 to 35 mile an hour winds, but he was curious to see how it held up too. He was pretty confident that it would do good, but you know, there's no guarantees. These are heavy winds. Not a lot of tents can hold up to this, but yeah, he said to go out and give it a shot, see what happens. And here I am, and it's withstood this all day yesterday, all night last night, and all morning, and it's held together perfectly. So I just want to say, if you're looking for a hot tent, a 2-person hot tent that is unique and well made and also warm, go to the Ankyil Outdoors website and look at the Zeta 1. This is the only product they have right now besides the beanie and the sweatshirt, but the hoodie. I would go check these guys out, AnkylOutdoors.com. I'll have the link in the description. And just so you know, this tent is not cheap, but it's not overpriced. It's average price for a tent like this. For instance, the Nortent, the Gamma 4 Nortent, it's a dome tent, kind of like this. It doesn't have the Mylar coating or anything. $1,200 for that tent. You can get the inner tent and a floor with it. I don't know if that's included in the $1,200 price, but point is, it's expensive, but it's worth it. It's a really nice tent. Same with the Pomoly Dome X6. That tent is a big tent. You can get an inner tent with it and a floor. I think that runs you around $500 or $600. Expensive, but in my opinion, worth it. This tent is priced really well for what it is. It's in those same categories, except for it's even more unique because of this Mylar coating inside. It's got some really cool features I haven't seen in any other tents, like this clear door. Who else has this? This is cool. Like I said yesterday, the intention of that door with the clear material is supposed to allow a fire from outside, the heat of that to come in and reflect off the Mylar and warm you up without even using a wood stove. So I'm gonna test that in the future, but I haven't had a chance yet. So anyways, check them out, support them. I really like these guys. I look forward to using this tent in the future. Anyways, yeah, I don't normally do this with products. I don't normally review like this, but I really like this tent a lot. And yeah, check them out. Ankyil Outdoors, the Zeta 1.
all packed up and ready to go. I survived the wind, and it started raining about, I don't know, an hour ago. So everything's soaked. The snow is pretty deep and wet now from all the wind drifting it. So I've got a long hike back down to my car, but I'm gonna start going. It's probably about 1:30 right now. Here a lot later than I expected. Anyways, thanks again for joining me on this episode today. I'll see you guys again next time.